Hello and welcome. Today I will be covering a selection sort. I have already covered bubble sort in the previous video. If you haven't seen that, you can go and watch that video. Selection sort is also a simple sorting algorithm. As the name says, selection sort, you have to select something and then put it to the right position. Now the question is, what is that you need to select? You select the maximum or the minimum elements and then you push them to their right positions. For example, if you select minimum element, then the first minimum element should be the first element in your array. And if you select the maximum element, then its right position is in the end of array if you are trying to sort array as in a ascending order. So let me just do a dry run and then I will do a quick implementation in the JavaScript for that. Let's say I take an example of numbers 5, 3, 1 and 2. Uh, and I'll also be writing the indexes over here 0, 1, 2, 3. Let's say I start with the index 1. I assume that this is the maximum number in my array, and I am going to keep a track of the index numbers. I'm going to say call it max I. Okay, and in my case max I is 0. Now I go ahead and parse the array one by one. I compare whether this number is greater than the number at max I. No, no, no. Okay. So in this case, there is no number that is greater than max I. When I have reached here at the end of array, max I is still 0. Whatever position I have finished my iteration at, now I'm going to swap that element with the max I. In this case, 5 comes here and 2 goes to the first position. Now the array is 2, 3, 1, 5. Let's split the array in sorted and unsorted parts. Since we are selecting maximum, then we will be growing the subset of largest numbers. Now this portion of array can be considered sorted because the maximum element as it is at its right position. Therefore, I also can reduce my next iteration by 1. And now I start again I take max I as 0. I go ahead and I do the comparisons whether 3 is greater than 2. Yes, 3 is greater than 2. Then my max I is now 1. And I again go and compare with the 1 over here, and 3 is greater than 1. Yes, 3 is greater than 1. So max I still remains same. Now what happens, I have ended my iteration here at 1, and I'm going to swap this number with the max size position. Okay, 3 comes here and 1 goes here. Now my array is 2, 1, 3, 5. Again, this portion of array is sorted, so I can again reduce my iteration count by 1. I start by 2. I consider max I again as 0. I compare whether this number is greater than the maximum number that I have seen earlier or not. No. So max I is still 0 in this iteration, and I swap 1 and 2. At this moment, since there is only one element left which automatically is at its right position, I don't have to run the next iteration. Now I can do a quick implementation of this and show you. Let's start by writing a function. Let's call it selection sort. This accepts an array. I would like to start from the last index, because every time we will be swapping the maximum element in the unsorted portion with the last index itself. So that's why it's beneficial to start with the last index. Like you can still go ahead and do like 0 to ARR length -1, but that's going to be adding a little bit overhead of using another variable. So also before I write the second loop, I need to assume that, let's say, my maximum element is at 0th index. So I'm tracking the maximum element by a variable max I, and I'm assuming that my maximum element is at the 0th index itself. So I need not compare element by itself. That's why I can start the second loop from 1, and till where I need to go? I need to go till the last index or last element. Okay, now I just need to check that my current element at jth index is greater than element at max I position or not. If yes, then I'm going to update my max I pointer to the current value of j. Once this loop is over, what I have need to do is simply swap the last element, which is at I, with the element that is maximum. Okay, and that is being tracked by max I like max I holds the index of element which is the maximum in the unsorted portion of the array. Now I simply return this array. We can test it out by passing some sample data. Let's see. Okay, so 11478, yes, that's sorted. So this is a fairly simple program of selection sort. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.